Okay, let me start this hand because this is, I can't believe what just happened. I'm playing 5-10. Effective stacks is 2,200. We have 220 big blinds. We're playing 5-handed because 4 of the other players are doing adult things. I'm going against a pretty solid player, okay? The 9 of clubs is exposed. It folds around to the cutoff. The cutoff makes it 50, which is pretty normal at this table. People are opening like 65s and 225, like straddling, like not even looking. So it's a pretty wild table, but this guy is a pretty solid player from what I can tell, but I haven't seen much showdowns with him, right? But from my understanding, he seems like he's got the vibe of a pro. He's even got an accent, so he's foreigner. Foreigners don't play no games. They're really good, you know what I mean? And he has a beard, so I was like, all right, this guy's pretty fucking solid. So he makes it 50. I make the call. He's on the button. He makes it 50. I make the call at the small blind with ace of diamonds, 8 of clubs. Now we're going heads up, and the pot's 110. Now the flop comes ace 8 4 rainbow. I flop top 2. I check. He makes it 75. It gets back to me. I'm like, okay, I got top 2. I got to raise here, so I'm going to raise here. I raise 4x because I'm out of position. 3x plus I got to charge tax for being out of position, so I raise it to 300, and then he smooth calls. So I was like, oh shit, okay, he's calling. He's got a strong ass hand. But what hand am I representing? I'm representing ace 4 suited, ace 8 suited, or a set, or maybe a big ace like ace king, ace queen. But I feel like I would have raised that pre-flops, probably like ace jack, ace 10. Right? He calls me, so I was like, okay, he must be really strong too, right? He smooth calls me. I made it 300, 600, the pot's now 710. The turn comes a 4, right? A black 4, so there's 2 black 4s. I was like, all right, well, I raised the flop. Now I have to continue my story that I'm really strong, that I've got ace 10, ace jack, ace king, or ace queen that didn't 3-bet pre, or a set or 2 pair. So I'm gonna bet 400. I bet 400, he makes the call. So now the pot is 800 more, it's 1510. The pot's 1510, and he smooth called. Like, he didn't tank call the turn, right? He smooth call, he just calls the 400. And I'm like, what the fuck? This is strange. Then the river comes a 9. No flushes, right? The river comes a 9, and the 9 doesn't really change anything, but the 9 was exposed pre-flop, right? So there was a 9 of clubs exposed pre-flop, so I was like, okay, it's unlikely he has ace 9. So I'm gonna bet for value here. I bet 700, which leaves me with 800 behind. I bet 700 for value, a little less than half pot, to get value out of a big ace. He then goes, he puts me all in. He goes all in. And now I'm just like, what the fuck? What hands does he do this with? Like, what hands would call a $300 raise on the flop, a $400 continuation bet on the turn, and then a $700 value bet on the river, and then raise me? What hands would do this? Ace 4 of hearts. Only ace 4 of hearts, because I had the ace of diamonds in my hand, and then the ace of clubs was on the board. So he can only have ace 4 of hearts. He's not gonna play ace 4 offsuit, raising $50 pre 5-handed. He might, I don't know, on the button, maybe. But I was thinking ace 4 of hearts, potentially ace 8, same hand, or pocket aces, maybe pocket 8s, unlikely, maybe quads, unlikely. I was like, he would never do this with ace king. The board's paired. This would be such a bad bluff. He has aces or ace 4 of hearts. He has to. That's what I'm saying to myself. I'm like, dude, now I'm talking to him. You got ace 4 of hearts, bro? Nah? You got pocket aces? Or do we have the same hand? I'm thinking about it. I'm talking out loud. Okay. I accidentally touch his hand. I'm like, oh shit, I feel the energy. You know? I was like, all right, will you show me if I fold? And I know it's like, okay, I have to call 800 to win 3,800, right? So I basically have to be right 1 out of 5 times, which is 20% of the time. That's right math, right? I have no idea. I don't even know how to play poker. But so I had to be right 1 out of 5 times. 1 out of 5 times. I would never put him on air here. So I'm like, what hands do I have? 1 out of 5? Would 1 out of 5 times ace king do this? No, ace king wouldn't do this. They would just call. I just don't see ace king ever doing this. Even 1 out of 5 times, I don't see it. Fuck, dude, am I supposed to call here or am I supposed to fold, guys? Because I'm gonna tell you what I did. I folded my hand. I folded, and he shows me his hand. You wanna know what he had? You really wanna know what he had? Fuck, dude, this makes me wanna cry. He had queen 3. And I'm pretty sure it was queen 3 of clubs, which gave him a flush draw on the turn, because there's the 4 of clubs on the turn and the ace of clubs on the flop. I think it was queen 3 of clubs. Let's just say it was queen 3 of clubs. So let's say he had a flush draw on the turn and then missed and then bluffed the river. But he had queen 3 of clubs. And he's like, are you sure you want to see it? Are you sure you want to see it? And I'm like, I don't know anymore. I just don't know. Oh my God, that's devastating. I was doing well. And then he cut me in half. Oh man, 1 out of 5 times. What other hands do I chop with ace 8, I lose to ace 4, I lose to 8s, I lose to 4s, I lose to aces. I guess I'd be ace king or ace queen, but who the fuck does this with ace king and ace queen? Really? And he's a foreigner, so like he gets extra credibility, you know? Oh my God, I'm never trusting another foreigner again. See, this is why I have trust issues. The struggle. What was your thought process on that hand?
Thought process was that there's not many aces, ace-x that you check raise on the flop against me because I'm a crazy opponent, so you will not...
but I don't know you're a crazy opponent.
Yeah, you've seen me. I've been struggling the last... I mean, maybe not. Maybe then you didn't pay attention because I've been struggling a lot.
Right.
A lot.
Right, he has been straddling a lot.
I've been struggling basically every hand.
Oh, you're right. I actually didn't take that into account.
Exactly.
Actually, you're right.
So I thought that you would, from me opening from my button, if you had an ace-x, you would just flat on that board. On that board, you would just flat.
Right.
Bet because
but if I raise, since I raise, doesn't that just say that I'm super strong?
No, I thought you could be trying taking a stand at some point because obviously I know you're an able player, so I think you could realize that I don't have many aces in my range here by opening my button for the 20th time in a row.
Right. Okay, so that makes sense on the flop. But what about my barrel on the turn?
Same, because if you have.
You think I would double barrel the bluff?
You could potentially. You could make me try and make me fold like a 9, just a 9x that I would just
the 8.
Sorry, 8. I was thinking about it.
Right.
An 8 that you that I would not believe you with, or I'm in position. I could potentially fold with an 8. You just check right in here.
Even on the turn though, for 400.
No, I mean once you bet, I could potentially pass. But anyway, I don't have an 8 here. I would pass an 8 on the turn. But I just put you on a. That's what I thought. I thought you had like a bluff here, so that's why I thought you would try to take a stand here. That's the reason why I did that. That's the reason why I went nuts.
Okay, I'll wait for you to finish this hand. So when I bet the 400 on the turn, you still think I could be just making a move?
I believe that, so.
And then, so then what about
because it's the button against small blind, like button against small blind.
Right, and we're playing 5-handed.
Yeah, in another spot would be different.
Right. So then what about the river when I bet 700? Did you still think I was?
I just had my plan. You know, my plan was because
okay.
I mean, you could have me crush. Obviously, I could do
right.
And you did have me crush anyway. But
right.
I gotta play this hand too.
Yeah, I gotta play.
The other question is, what do I rep? I'm the only one who can have like aces here.
Right. You could have aces there.
That's the only thing, because you could have 8, you could have 4. So that's then the two of us can have.
Right. Or you could have ace 4 suited.
And you can have ace 4 as well. You can have
right.
ace 4.
But I can't have aces because I didn't raise it.
Exactly.
Got it.
That's about it. That was just me being crazy.
Gotcha. And being crazy.
That's it. Sometimes you gotta be crazy.
So I just woke up and I'm going over the hand with my friend, and so he suggests he would probably fold, but it is a call in case the villain has like 8x of clubs, you know what I mean, like 8-9 of clubs or some type of 8 of clubs. But man, I just don't ever see anybody making like, it's just, man, that takes a lot of balls to do what he did. But his mindset, I understand his mindset, right? So he thinks that I'm trying to make a move on him, so he's got a game plan. It doesn't really matter what 2 cards he has, even though he's an idiot for playing queen 3 off. Sorry buddy, he is my new friend. His name's Ivan. He's a dumbass for playing queen 3 off, but he has the brains to be able to play something stupid, you know what I mean? It's not profitable over the long run, but he does have the smarts to outplay somebody, which is what he was trying to do in that hand. He was trying to basically he's trying to play the player, right? So when you're trying to play a player, you don't need to, it doesn't matter what your 2 cards are. So he thought I was making a move on him on the flop, right? Trying to check raise. He was thinking I was trying to make a move on him by putting him on an ace. So I was trying to make a move by check raising the flop with like, you know, like a gut shot or a pair of 8s or something like that, or just anything. Just doesn't really matter what. Oh, I got a ban of champion. I'm playing League of Legends. Diana, fuck that bitch. So he thought I was trying to make a move, right? So he makes the call for 300 on the flop. He's already setting up his plan of attack. He's like, all right, cool. He's trying to make a move on me. I'm gonna bluff him. He didn't think I was strong. That's what he's thinking. He's like, all right, I'm gonna make a move. He thinks he's gonna make a move on me. Nah, I'm gonna double make a move. So he's playing really like levels of like.
Come on, let me level fucking 6, bro. Fuck. Are you fucking kidding?
So he's playing like that levels of mind games. Even though he's a fucking dumbass for playing queen 3 off, he's playing like the player in the mental games. And so he makes the call on the, oh, gotta choose my chance. Right, so he makes the call on the flop. Turn comes a 4, right? So now he's like, the four doesn't change anything, but he is now gonna represent aces, or like he's gonna represent a strong hand, right? So I continue my barrel as if I'm strong, but he thinks I'm making a move on him, right? So I bet 400, and he thinks I'm weak, right? He thinks I'm just trying to make a move on him because I think that he's got just like ace X, right? But I don't. So when he makes the call on the turn, which came a club, which gave him what he didn't have queen 3 of clubs, he had queen 3 off. So he was like, okay, I can represent, you know, aces here or ace 4 or something. So he smooth calls, right? River comes a 9, which doesn't change anything because the 9 of clubs was exposed. So now he's, so I bet for value for 700, and I guess he still had thought that I was making a move on him, which I was not making a move on him, but he thought I was. So I bet 700, and he goes over the top, representing only like aces or ace 4. So he was playing that intellectual game, buddy.
Are you kidding?
And I got owned. What are your guys' thoughts on this hand? Do you think I should call this hand or not call this hand? It's 800 to win 3,800, so it's about 21%.
Fucking
I need to be right
shit.
21% of the time, right? So does he have enough bluffs to be bluffing here 21% of the time? I don't think so, but it was some big ballsy moves. Would you call or fold in this situation? That's the question.